Hello and welcome to American Classic Tour TV. I am your host, JD Conroy. I am your leader and your tour guide as we travel to one of the most beautiful places in North America, one of my favorite places in the country, and that is Cape Cod. Now, Cape Cod over the last 5 years has been our most popular American Classic Tour. It sold out each of the last 5 years, and that is because, well, it's just a great itinerary. Now, there's 3 reasons why you should want to go to Cape Cod. The first is that it has a lot of colonial and Revolutionary War history. The second is it's filled with gorgeous seascapes. And the third is, if you're interested in the Kennedys, and I know a lot of people are, there's a lot of Kennedy history on the Cape. They are from Hyannisport. We'll visit the John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum on this tour. Now, if you look at a map, highlighted there is the state of Massachusetts. Cape Cod is located off the tip of Massachusetts. As we zoom in here on our map, we'll see the basic components of this tour. We'll fly into Boston. We'll travel down through Plymouth to the Cape, which is kind of circled here in the blue. We'll take day trips to the two big islands off the Cape, Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket, and then we'll return back up to Boston, where we'll spend our last couple of days traveling and touring Boston and Lexington and Concord. Okay, so this tour is split up into a few different parts. We'll see Plymouth, we'll spend a day on Martha's Vineyard, a day on Nantucket, we'll spend a day touring the entire Cape, we'll spend some time in Boston, some time in Lexington and Concord, and of course, like any American Classic Tour, your tour will begin with a free home pickup. You'll be brought to the airport where you'll be met curbside by an American Classic Tour staff member who will lead you inside to a private group airline check-in where you'll meet the rest of your group and your tour director. Along the way, your airfare is included, your lodging, most meals, travel insurance, tips, all admission fees and attractions. Pretty much everything along the way is included, so you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the tour. So we'll fly into Boston, we'll board our motor coach, and we'll head down to Plymouth, which of course was the landing spot for the Pilgrims coming over in the Mayflower ship in 1620. While we're in Plymouth, we'll see the Plymouth Rock, and we'll visit the monument to the forefathers. So on day 2, we'll take a ferry to Martha's Vineyard. Now, Martha's Vineyard is known as Millionaire's Island because a lot of rich and famous people like to hang out there. Other than Hollywood, you'd be hard-pressed to find a place that has more famous people walking around than does Martha's Vineyard. Everyone from Taylor Swift to Bill Murray to David Letterman to Larry David to Carly Simon. Even the Obama family vacationed here each summer during President Obama's presidency. And a lot of people like to visit here, live here, because it's home to gorgeous seascapes, the iconic gingerbread neighborhood in Oak Bluffs, and it's home to one of my favorite scenes in the entire country, the Nag's Head Lighthouse on the Aquina Cliffs overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. So we'll spend the next day on Nantucket, which is known as Billionaire's Island. Now, Nantucket's known as Billionaire's Island to Martha's Vineyard Millionaire's Island because it's more expensive. And they say there's a lot of old money on Nantucket, a lot of generational wealth, a lot of old East Coast elites who have passed down their summer homes through generations. Now, Nantucket has an interesting history of its own. It's the former whaling capital of the world. It was an inspiration for Herman Melville's epic novel Moby Dick, and people have been whaling and living there so long that Benjamin Franklin's mother was born on Nantucket. The island's known for its gorgeous seaside cottages. All the private residents on the island have to have this gray cedar siding, and this sort of uniformity in architecture gives the island a real charm. Of course, the island's home to more gorgeous seascapes and some lovely upscale shopping as well. Next, we'll take a full day guided tour of the Cape. We'll visit Cape Cod National Seashore. We'll visit the Chatham Lighthouse and the Eastham Windmill. We'll visit the Nauset Lighthouse, which has been made famous by the Cape Cod potato chips. Then we'll make our way all the way to the tip of the Cape to Provincetown. Provincetown's a really artsy, fun sort of town all the way on the edge of the Cape. From its very beginning, it was an artist colony. It's a very artsy town. We'll take a dune buggy ride while we're in Provincetown, and then we'll return back towards Hyannisport and we'll have a lobster dinner. Next, we'll visit Boston. In Boston, we'll see the Massachusetts State House, Quincy Market, the Paul Revere statue, and the Old North Church before we make our way to Lexington and Concord. In Lexington, we'll see the famous Minuteman statue. We'll explore the Lexington Green pictured here where the shot heard around the world was fired. Our local guide will really bring to life this moment that started the American Revolutionary War. Then we'll make our way to Concord and the Old North Bridge, which was the site of the first major battle or skirmish in the American Revolutionary War. We'll see Ralph Waldo Emerson's home. We'll see the Orchard House, where Louisa May Alcott wrote Little Women. And then the last stop of this tour is at the John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum. Now, presidential libraries and museums are some of the most popular attractions we offer on our tours. And they do a good job of not just highlighting the president's life or his presidency, but also the time period in which he lived. This museum is no exception. It does a great job of highlighting the life, the legacy, the death, the dramatic celebrity of John F. Kennedy. So if you're interested in joining in on this tour, here's all that's included. A free home pickup and return, private group airline check-in, round-trip airfare and one check bag, deluxe motor coach transportation, 5 nights deluxe hotel accommodations, 10 meals, 5 breakfasts, and 5 dinners. Luggage handling is included throughout your tour. All attractions, admissions, and entertainment are included. All gratuities, including tips for your tour director and your driver, the services of an American Classic tour director, and Travel Guard trip insurance. There's limited space available on this tour. We anticipate this tour will sell out. It sells out just about every year, like I mentioned earlier. So call 847-548-3333 to make your reservation before space runs out. The prices of the tour are listed here. To see the full itinerary, visit amclassictours.com/Cape Cod. Again, if you're interested in signing up, call 847-548-3333 to reserve your seat today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Tour TV, and I hope you can join us on this amazing journey to Cape Cod.